Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there o see them yopo.
I'm also going to tell you what I have picked up. And there could be some additional information to what you have read somewhere, or maybe some slight changes. So in terms of those going out, you have the Minister for Roads and Highways going out. You have the Minister for Tourism going out. You have a Minister for Health going out. You have a Minister of Finance going out. You have, and then this might be unrelated to the executive, but it is related. I'll explain that. You have the Minister for Parliamentary Affairs and Majority Leader going out. And you have Minister for Local Government going out. You have Minister for Gender going out. Okay. Now, in terms of those who are coming in, there are a few who are ministers already. So it's more of, that would be like a reshuffle, so more of them. So you have the Minister for Works and Housing, that's Essential, moving to Roads and Highways from Works and Housing. And then you have Kojo Ponkruma moving from Information to Works and Housing. And then you have some elevation. So Martin Ajay Mensah to become Substantive Local Government Minister. You have Ejapa Mesa from Deputy Energy to Tourism as Minister. And then you have Amin Atta, who's Minister of State. What I'm not too sure about is whether he will be elevated to full minister or he will still be Minister of State in charge of a Ministry of Finance. That I'm not too clear about. But I'm sure that the communication to the Speaker will clarify that. Then you also have Dokwa Newman, the MP, going to Gender. Okay. And then you would have Ambrose Derry, who was Interior. He will still be a Minister of State. I'm sure this is on the special duties. Okay. So that's also going to come. Now, I told you about Parliamentary Affairs. It appears that there will no longer be an executive position like that. But the Honorable Afenyo Makin will be nominated as Majority Leader. And there's some different work for the current Majority Leader in terms of campaign and policy. Okay. And for the Finance Minister, the current Finance Minister, my sources indicate that he would be Senior Presidential Advisor on financial and economic matters. So this is what I have picked up. So Henry Quarter is going to Interior, asked to replace Ambrose Derry, who will be Minister of State Special Duties. Okay. So this is what I have picked up.
All right.
Kwesi?
Well, first of all, I do not want to treat this as the usual speculative reporting.
Yes.
From everything that we are hearing, there appears to be some substance to what is published in the newspapers. You understand? So, again, from where I sit and what we are hearing, it does appear that maybe today, maybe in the next few days, some announcement will be made. Now, I agree fully with former Chairman Wasma Oblay that this reshuffle is too late. I mean, you have 10 months to an election and 10 months to the possibility of a change in government.
In fact, 9 months to an election.
Yeah, and 10 months to the possibility of a change in government. These reshuffles cannot do much, you know. And before the newly appointed ministers even get to know the terrain within which they'll be operating, 6 months will be passed. You understand? We are not so sure how long vetting is going to take and so on. It can drag. And also, this reshuffle would not make as much meaning as it could have if it had happened much, much earlier. Now, in some instances, I don't expect any change at all. For example, if you take the area of finance and the economy, I'm not expecting any change at all. What has happened is that, and based on what has been published and what we are hearing, what would happen is that Mr. Akuffo Addo is not being removed at all. He's been elevated.
Now he's no longer the minister.
Yeah, but he's been elevated.
He will no longer be the minister.
He will no longer be the minister, but if the speculation is right, he's going to be the senior presidential advisor on finance and the economy. Every minister of finance will work under him. He's still in charge of the Ministry of Finance.
Well, but the relevant laws put the power and the authority in the minister responsible for finance and not the advisor.
No.
Yes.
He will be exercising directly the influence and power of the president over the minister. He talks to the president. He's the advisor to the president. You understand? Which minister can override the president? And he comes with the full authority of the president. So that's no significant change. Indeed, it is a reinforcement of his position as the man who oversees, finance and the economy. So I think that is very, very clear. And as you speculated, if Atta is left at the ministry as just a minister of state, Akuffo Addo even becomes even more powerful, very, very powerful and so on. So we wait to hear the full announcement, and when the full announcement does come, we will then be in a position to critically, analyze it. Mr. Danbotwe has been an extraordinary politician for a very long time, you understand? And he played prominent roles in the New Patriotic Party, even in the days of the Darochas and so on. And his shift to the Ministry of Local Government was significant. I think it was based on his experience in the field and so on. Now that he's being removed, I don't know what role he's going to play. Maybe he's being removed so that he can play a keener role in the elections.
That's what I'm picking up.
Okay. But even then, he can be as skillful as anything,
He's also one of the people who is
he's not going back to
as
Parliament.
high on the agenda as a running mate to Alhaji Bawumia.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But if my good old friend will listen to me, and I know that not many of my friends listen to me these days, if I were him, I would decline that.
Decline what?
The running mate to Alhaji Bawumia.
Hey.
If I were Danbotwe, I would decline that.
Not Danbotwe.
Who?
I thought you were speaking about Sir Chairman Sabonso.
No, I'm talking about Danbotwe.
Oh, no.
Danbotwe is...
No, he's not the...
Okay. That's
I thought you were speaking about Sir Chairman Sabonso.
No, Sir Chairman I can offer it. But Danbotwe...
No, he's not one of the people...
But even if he were, he should decline it. He's more worthy than that, you understand? And...
I think that from the two people from the Eastern region whose names have come up, as far as running mate thing is concerned, are Nana Akomia and Brian Achampong.
Yeah, I've heard about Nana Akomia too. And he's very cagey about it, and even though I don't think that he would decline if he was offered, he's very cagey about it.
Curious to say that somebody is more worthy than a vice presidential slot. I don't understand that. Can you explain? Because if somebody is given an opportunity to say,
all he's saying is that Danbotwe is bigger than a driver's mate. That's what he's saying.
Oh no, I disagree.
Oh, you think he's qualified?
No,
he's qualified to be anything. But if you qualified to be a minister, you accept a position as a minister of state. Why would you think that a vice presidential slot is beneath you?
Well,
that's my view. And I've never really understood that argument where people feel that You understand? If you're ready to serve as a minister and you are given an opportunity as a running mate, and you say that is beneath you, there must be something illogical about it. That's my view. I mean,
okay.
That's my view.
I've had the privilege of working with somebody like Damboche over a very long period of time. Indeed, our relationship, political working relationship, even deepened around 1991. And I can tell you on authority that over the years, he's built a certain reputation for himself and so on. I think that reputation will be harmed substantially if he accepts this position. And it's different from, a ministerial position. I think it will be harmed. Damboche is known for somebody who speaks his mind, who acts on the basis of principle and so on. I don't see how he can continue to keep that image if he accepted this. I just don't see how. And I would not, if he sought my advise him to take this position. But Randy, I mean, talking about vice presidential candidates and so on, you know that your friend, in fact, our friend, Kwabena Japan is also being mentioned as a likely candidate. And again, to say the truth, the first time I heard it, I was completely shocked. And you know why I was shocked? I mean, if you listen to him on the presidential campaign trail, the things he said about the government, his vision for the future and so on, does not fit into him becoming vice presidential candidate. But hey, everybody have their plan, and they only know how their plans can be actualized. But that's up to them.
All right. Yes, go on.
The other interesting thing about this ministerial reshuffle is that, again, one of our friends is being mentioned as a possible replacement for the Minister of Health, Okoboy.
Yes.
Dr. Okoboy. Interesting in many ways. I mean, he actually acted as chief executive of Kolebu for some time.
Board chairman
for Kolebu for some time. The reports that I had, and I'm sure that all of you had, was that his performance was steady.
Yes.
Sterling performance. And then he was moved also to the health insurance, National Health Insurance.
Before then, the task force.
Yeah. And with National Health Insurance, I think he's been very quiet.
Yes.
Very quiet. He's not been in any controversy and so on. I don't know what he can do in 9 months. Because the health sector is a really problematic sector. But, well, maybe his tactics has paid off. And he has some very real, interesting tactics. Maybe those tactics have paid off. And so, I wish him well. I mean, he's a friend. I wish him well. I'm sure that if he's listening, he himself will understand the tactics that I'm talking about. And I see Randy laughing all the way because Randy knows what I'm talking about. But Randy, you're revealing everything.
I'm sure he's having a good laugh.
Yeah, but you're revealing everything.
I'm sure he's having a good laugh himself.
Because anybody who understands that would know, what I'm talking about. But I wish him well. I really wish him well. And perhaps if there was enough time and he could repeat what he did at Kolebu, perhaps, we would see some changes in the health sector.
So I just had some, the Honorable Aminante's one I spoke about, he's Minister of State. Okay, so he will be made a substantive minister.
Yeah, but still substantive minister with serious limitations.
Why?
Well, there will still be Ken Ofori as senior presidential advisor on finance and the economy.
He's not a finance minister.
Yeah, but you mean he will stand up?
All the acts and everything empowers the minister.
Yeah, the minister doesn't have more power than the president.
Oh, yes.
Yes. That's clear.
He acts on behalf of the president.
Yes. And I don't see how he is going to stand up against Camoufl. It won't happen. It won't happen. You understand?
Okay.
It won't happen. Camoufl will still be in charge of finance and the economy. Clear as daylight. In fact, now, Camoufl's position is almost the equivalent of the position that Mr. Safumafu holds.
No, he was... Okay, so Mr. Safumafu was senior minister.
Yes.
Then he became senior presidential advisor. He's currently senior presidential advisor.
Yeah, almost the equivalent.
So he has a colleague now. He has a colleague.
You know, I mean, Safumafu was the primus inter pares.
When he was senior minister.
But even now,
he's no longer a minister. He's just
senior presidential advisor.
But he's not a minister.
The senior presidential advisor actually carries the weight, authority, and influence of the president.
But
those things are really, for me, I think that they are superficial.
It
depends on the kind of leadership that this thing brings. I believe that
there are many ways of massaging egos.
If the decision is made,
right? If the majority of parliamentarians, and I want to believe that a large proportion of the Ghanaian population has been wanting Camoufl out, and we still find the need to massage his ego, then he's huge.
Oh yes.
Then he's really huge and cannot be taken for granted.